When we last left our heroes, they'd finally gotten a chance to explore the city of Silverwick, and in the process they had agreed to assist Lord Irakas The Great in his hunt for a creature known as the Lurker. Now they were on the road traveling into the woods, ready to kill the creature, but first they had a few questions about the island they had found themselves on. Hey, Lord Irakas the Great, do you have any ideas as to where Merlos's mansion might be?
Of course not. If I knew that, then I wouldn't be going around hunting for random forest monsters, now would I? And even if I knew where it was, I doubt it'd help much. I'm pretty sure that the Elefeers already know where the mansion is, but are probably just keeping it a secret. An extremely well-defended secret.
We're new here. Who exactly are the Elefeers?
New is no excuse for being ignorant. Commoners. The story starts a long time ago, with a man named Wenvia Elefeer. He was a noble that showed up on the island a few hundred years after the Thief Lord's court had already been established. He wasn't nearly as great as I am, but he was able to rise to prominence extremely quickly. He always just seemed to be in the right place at the right time, and was extremely lucky. Almost unnaturally so. At some point, he married right into the Thief Lord's court, and managed to get around 40% of the court under his control. He was the closest to a second Thief Lord that the island has ever seen. However, due to his lack of a crown, he never managed to get the title itself. Eventually, he died, just like everyone does. Except for me, I will never die. Anyways, after his death, his family quickly shattered and began to fall apart. But that's another story. Which I will now tell you. After his death, the family fell apart due to infighting. They quickly lost most of their power, however, they still considered themselves to be the upper echelon of the court, even though they had nothing to show for all of their bragging. At least that was the case for a very long time. However, things have recently changed. A few years back, one of the Elefeers started gaining a vast amount of power. What was her name? Oof, I could have sworn I knew it. Silsira. She's gotten a decent chunk of the court under her thumb, and was able to have an entire crime syndicate publicly executed, just so she could take their airship for her own.
Wait, did you say her name was Silsira?
I agree, it's a much weirder name than Lord Irakas the Great. Doesn't nearly flow as well in conversation either, but I suppose it's a decent name.
Well, I think the most powerful person on the island wants this dagger. Well, we did find it by grave robbing someone with her last name, so maybe she's angry about that. We did what? Oh right, I found it by grave robbing someone with her last name. Look, Edith, we like having you in our group, but you can't keep doing things like this without talking to anyone. You're putting all of our lives at risk with your random shenanigans, and it's going to cause issues at some point. Fair enough. Well, that was the last thing you didn't know about, so now I'm an open book. At this point, the cart stopped, and the party climbed out onto the ground and got ready for the hunt.
I've heard rumors about this creature. It's apparently a large beast that lurks like a lurker.
Are you meaning to imply that we are hunting for an animal that you do not know what it looks like?
How many other house-sized beasts do you think there are lurking in the woods?
Before Edith had a chance to respond, a massive creature attacked one of their carts and flung it across the clearing, destroying it.
I found it! Or better yet, I made it find us, so it had to do all of the work.
Towering over the party was a large, mossy creature. Lord Irakas the Great readied his crossbow and the fight began. Most of the encounter was pretty uneventful, with both sides slowly whittling down the other until eventually, the Lurker was defeated. Lord Irakas went and cut open the dead thing's torso, until he found a large, still beating heart.
Well, I've taken my share of the spoils. You can have all the rest.
Perfect. I've been meaning to find more food for Hansel. Hang on. This doesn't entirely seem fair. You get whatever that thing is, while we just get a bunch of plant material.
Well, I didn't say how we were going to split the loot originally. You probably should have asked about that. But I am a man of honor and courage and humility, so I will be paying you in gold coins for your contribution to the fight.
Yep, that seems fair. We like gold. The party all crowded onto the only remaining cart, and they began their travel back towards Silverwick, with the sun slowly setting far in the distance. Lord Irakas, I've got a few extra healing spells if you need anything. I saw you got hit a few times during the fight.
Huh. Do you not notice? The Great in my name? You failed to say it again. It's there for a reason, you know.
Okay, but nobles still need to heal.
I don't need any healing, for nothing can slay me. I am the Great, and no one else has that title.
Nobody else has the title of The Great.
Of course not. It's the only one of its kind. I have many other titles, but I suppose if you were going to choose one of those, you could simply call me Hero.
I could, but I'm not going to.
I've also been called Lord Irakas the Unkillable.
Is it because you can't be killed?
Yes, it's because I can't be killed.
The conversation mostly died out at that point, and the party sat in silence for the rest of the journey. By the time they arrived at Silverwick, it was already night, and shortly after they got into the city, Lord Irakas hopped off of the cart with the Lurker's heart still in his hands.
If you could, please return the cart for me. Thank you.
Lord Irakas turned and started walking away before the party had a chance to respond to him. He made it about halfway across the street before his head suddenly exploded into a geyser of blood as a gunshot rang out. His body collapsed onto the ground and the heart fell onto the cobblestones in front of him. In the darkness, the party could see, on a balcony 7 stories up from them, there was a dark figure holding a smoking clockwork rifle. As the figure looked down towards them, the party noticed that the shadowy silhouette had acid green eyes staring at them.